Parents of Reddit, what are your kids currently attempting to hide from you? A few years ago, I was going through my son's third-grade backpack and found a can of ravioli. That's all well, except I never bought any ravioli. When I asked him about it, he burst into tears and pulled out a box under his bed filled with ravioli. He then proceeded to tell me how this girl that picks on him and says they are married gives him ravioli every day and makes him take it. I can just picture this girl's mother telling her the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. My 3-year-old son lost his ball. When asked, he said he didn't know where it was. We assumed it had been left outside to blow away in a storm or some kid took it, so we bought him a new ball. As soon as we gave it to him, he said thanks. I'll get my other ball. He then ran straight to a bush in the neighbor's yard and pulled out his ball. Came for teens hiding drugs. Stayed for the toddlers hiding snacks. Who thought 6YOS could be so relatable? My 2-year-old dropped out Echo Dot and split into 2 pieces. She attempted to sandwich it back together and put it back where it was, but now says stuff like Alexa play Mickey Mouse, and then when nothing happens she says oh Alexa what happened? You know damn well what happened and it's happened. She's slowly been collecting pens and hiding them in her toys. So far, no coloring outside of paper and coloring books, though, so I'm letting her get away with it. My daughter throws her lettuce under the table for the dog to eat. The dog doesn't like lettuce. I just found out that my 6-year-old locks the bathroom door so he can get some privacy. Last night I looked across the kitchen to see the door slightly ajar and my son engaging in his private time, doing push-ups. I didn't say anything, just watched him finish his 5 reps, flex in the mirror and then walk out of the bathroom. Son 7 ate half my bag of gummy bears. I know, he knows I know, I know he knows I know, I don't think he knows I know he knows I know, so now we wait until he cracks. Update. Son confessed to crime at 7:43 p.m. tonight. When I was a teen I came home stoned at least once a week and felt like the beat actor ever after talking to my mom for like 20 minutes while assuming she didn't notice. When I was 20 she asked me if I stopped smoking weed because she really enjoyed our stoned conversations. My daughter is trying to impress me by learning origami. She's 7 and doesn't think that dad can see all the missing paper and the messily but improving a lot paper cranes hidden throughout her room. I bought 2 more reams of paper and just left them out on accident. Lazy old dad not putting up his office supplies. My neighbors across the street have an 18-year-old daughter. Most nights at around 9:30 she has a young man crawl in through her window. I realized this because I'm usually wrapping up our evening dog walk at about that time. I'm not sure, but I've counted at least 5 different young men based on build and race. She is doing a study for school and needs lots of test subjects. Got a 12-year-old and I definitely know his Reddit account caused the little turd used my email to sign up. Must not have thought that one through. I'm too scared to look at it though. That's a rabbit hole you never want to go down. My 22-year-old son starts work at 6 a.m. He left the house at 6:30 and came back 30 minutes later. I think he got fired. Update. He went to work today. I asked him if he went to work yesterday and he said everything was locked up and they had changed the unloading schedule that day and didn't tell him. Second update September 15th, 2019. He slept in after staying up late with friends and finally got fired. He told us immediately. He owes us money. Just this morning, a friend of mine told me he saw my 17-year-old son picking cigarette butts out of the ashtray at a gas station. So in one moment, I learned not only that my son is smoking cigarettes, but that he's a goddamn scrub as well. Not sure how to handle it, to be honest. Offer to buy him nicotine gum patches and offer help to slowly wean off those. If he acts defensive, say I'm not mad and you aren't in trouble. But if you don't pick one of these options and continue digging used butts out of the tray at the gas station, then you will be in trouble. My 4-year-old wrote a letter she keeps in her bottom drawer. When me and my husband die she will come home and get it. We're not allowed look at it or touch it, but apparently it says that we gave her loads of money and she gave us loads of pictures. I'm not sure what this says about her or us, but it will be interesting how long she keeps said letter. It's been a month so far. My kid would get up in the middle of the night and want a snack. He would sneak into the kitchen and eat a whole tomato except the little circle where it connected to the stem. He hid the little stem circles under whatever was on top of the trash and would go to sleep. We always made sure there were tomatoes for him. My 9-year-old stepdaughter was in her room one day for like hours with markers and papers. I thought she was drawing or making a picture book or something, so I let it slide. It turns out she had our calendar and was making cards for everyone for every holiday and birthday coming up. I haven't asked her about it, but I'm honestly super proud of her logic and long-term planning abilities. Everybody's kids here are hiding books to read secretly. Mine's hiding in his bedroom trying to use a glue stick like lip balm. Not a parent, but my parents think I'm hiding a girlfriend. My grandma was convinced this was the case. So when I got one, I naturally didn't tell her. She jokingly told me I could invite my girlfriend to some family outing, so I did. She was extremely confused, and when she asked why didn't I tell her, I just told her that she knew all along. Himself. It's nearly bedtime. 2-year-old thinks I'll forget to put him to bed if he runs into another room for 30 seconds. My 3-year-old thinks I don't know that she raids the snack cupboard when I'm out of the room. Her face is usually full of chocolate after. She also thinks I can't see her when she covers her eyes, so sneaks around me thinking she's in stealth mode to get to something she shouldn't. My almost 2-years-old has started telling me crazy stories as if they are real. He recently told me that our dog rides a motorcycle to go play with her friends. He's 18. He will wait until we go to bed and then hop the back fence to go to 7-Eleven for a Slurpee. After a couple of weeks of this, we confronted him and told him, 1. You're 18, so there is no curfew. 2. Hopping fences looks like criminal activity and our neighborhood watch is on point. 3. You have a driver's license, so take the car. 4. Don't act like you're fooling us. You're an adult now. Want a Slurpee? Go get it. You have money. Something is telling me that he's not buying Slurpees every night. My 6-year-old is gobsmacked that I know about the rolling around on the floor instead of schoolwork. No idea the teacher can reach me anytime. Girlfriend's kids 20 and 17 like to go work on the car together in the detached garage. Late at night. Yeah, pretty sure they're smoking weed. She likes to make them awkward by asking what they're up to. We see the 3 feet bong, you guys. That they are not tired, despite the usual crying and making you feel terrible until they shut their eyes and 30 seconds later asleep. Parenting's a whirlwind of emotions. He has a crush on the babysitter and tries to draw hearts to give to her. He also proposed. He is 6. When my son was 5, he stashed a bunch of blueberries under his pillow for later. Problem is, not only did they get squished night 1, but he forgot about them until we changed his sheets a few days later. Ugh. Death. We had a foster kid that hid about 2 handfuls of spaghetti with sauce under his pillow. Found it the next day while he was at school. Got it cleaned up. Never told him we found it. Made sure to have spaghetti twice a week thereafter. Fortunately, my teenager 16, going on 17, doesn't try to hide much from me. She's a terrible liar and gets busted right away every time, so she just casually admits stuff these days. It's pretty great. However, she's been sneaking her boyfriend over to the house during the day while I'm at work and thinks I'm clueless. Girl, I know you eat a lot, but there's no way you're going through half a loaf of bread by yourself in one day. You also left his glass of water on the coffee table. I don't know, man. I feel like I could eat half a loaf of bread by myself. My 6-year-old son poops in the backyard every morning and blames it on the dog. My daughter is too shy to tell me she started her period. I'm not going to embarrass her. We've had the talk, and she can come to me if and when she's comfortable. I hid my period from my mom because I was deathly embarrassed for some reason. She found my blood-stained PJs though and asked me one day. I cried. She hugged me and told me it was natural and okay. Now I think back to her kindness and comfort very fondly. Don't let her keep it from you too long, as going it alone can suck. My son 7 is hiding that he secretly loves Forest School Summer Club. Each day I pick him up, he moans that they don't do many activities. That it's terrible. No one wants to play with him and it isn't fun. The photos posted on the social media say otherwise. as well as the occasional slip-ups when telling us stories around the dining table. He is my son. I treat everything he tells me seriously, whether it is good or bad. As a person who was severely bullied as a child, I like to think that I try to assess every incident and situation regarding him better than my own parents did when I was young. But to clarify, he literally tells me every morning before we go that he wants to play Pokemon or Super Mario, that he doesn't want to get up at 7 a.m., and that he has stuff to build on Minecraft. He didn't want to go because he genuinely wants to spend 6 weeks playing video games. Jesus. He is pissed that we aren't taking the Switch to Cornwall on holiday with us. However, he also wants to make friends, so I encourage him to go. I work closely with the club leader and teacher on how he finds each day. They continuously comment on how he really takes to group activities and shows great signs of leadership, etc. Guys, kids can be stupid. They can be really stubborn and sometimes have a lot of pride. Believe it or not, some kids find it difficult to admit they were wrong about something, because they really love computer games. Not a parent. But my story. Senior in high school. Boyfriend and I got home from school with about an hour alone. Got busy on the couch and mom came home early. We rushed around grabbing the wrong clothes. He hid in the bathroom. I busted ass upstairs and got dressed. She came in, acted normal, thought I was good. Right before she went out back to have a smoke, she said, by the way, boyfriend left his underwear on the floor by the couch and went outside. Was mortified. She was pretty cool about it though. Offered to get me birth control and said she'd whoop my ass if I did that on her couch again. Where her dad's watch is. I know where she hides it. And I've seen her wear it pretending to be him. It's so cute. I won't tell my husband though. My 2-year-old attempts to hide the family dog who is 75 pounds in various places in his room so that the dog can sleep in there with him. So far, I've found the dog in the closet, behind the curtains, surrounded by stuffed animals to blend in, and on numerous occasions I've walked in the room to see a giant mound under the comforter at the foot of the bed. My son is astonished every single time that I have not only found the dog, but was even looking for him in the first place. On more than one occasion he even attempted to persuade me that he didn't even know we had a dog. 6-year-old has started going to bed during the day for naps and chill-out time, also for the privacy to remove his pants and have a fiddle with it. I have no idea how to broach this subject, so I'm not gonna. Mine fiddles with his a lot. Also 6. I tell him that it is fine if he wants to touch himself, but he needs to do it in private because no one wants to see that. I also tell him that he is allowed to touch himself whenever he wants, but no one else is allowed to touch him. It's only going to get worse, so I figured I would at least have him do it in his room. Mine doesn't try to hide anything. He's a 1.5 years old. He just grabs things he isn't supposed to and runs away yelling, "Run, run, 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 run." Not a parent. But I 21F walked in on my 10-year-old cousin wanking the other day. I needed the password to the iPad and his bedroom door was open, so I walked in. I, of course, knew exactly what was happening straight away, so just ignored it and pretended that nothing was weird. I shut the door on my way out. I'm hoping he still doesn't know that I know. Poor kid.